Welcome in, backyard baseball fans. We are here in Mr. Ekman's backyard. It's a freshly cut lawn for a fresh new season of the Backyard Baseball Library Online League Season 4. We are here for the first showcase match of the week between the Indians and don't call them the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Tanya Yoshida is going to lead things off here in the new season, and she's going to hit a deep drive to right field. Does it have enough to get over the fence? Apparently it does. I don't know. You might want to send that one to New York. It goes through the bushes in right field. Mr. Ekman is not going to be happy about that. But on the very first pitch of the season, Tanya Yoshida goes yard. And just like that, before I can even really get into anything, Tanya Yoshida and the Cleveland Indians have a 1-0 lead. Well, now that we're off and running in this first showcase match of the week, let's catch you up to speed with our two teams that are facing off here. As Kendra Yarbrough, and again swinging with the first pitch here is Jason Kendall, but right to Alex Rodriguez at shortstop. And an easy out. So two pitches, and we've got a home run and an out. So swinging early and often here are the Indians. And here's another pitch from Kendra Yarbrough, and here's another first pitch swing, and this one's going to get down. Chico Papas is running all the way over up against the fence, and Chipper Jones, knowing that it's a weak arm out there in left field, he's going to stretch this all the way to a double, a stand-up double. Not allowed to slide on Mr. Ekman's nice, neat lawn. And so a home run, a ground out, and a double on 3 pitches. That brings up Ken Griffey Jr., the shortstop. Let's see if Ken Griffey Jr. is swinging at the first pitch. He is, but he spikes it into the ground. A little Baltimore chop right in front of the mound. Thor Herring grabs it, throws to first just in time by a step and a half to get Ken Griffey Jr. So Kendra Yarbrough, the pitcher, not really giving me much time here to even get into these teams as Sean Green comes up to the plate, and finally somebody takes a pitch, allows us to catch our breath. Runner on third, 2 outs. Sean Green, the second baseman, up to the plate, and that is a foul ball straight back, I would say into the booth, but there's no booth here in backyard baseball. So an 0-2 pitch, looking for the first strikeout of the season, not going to get it, but it's another little swinging bunt right in front of the mound, and picking it up in just in time. Oh my goodness, Kendra Yarbrough. She can throw a mean heater, but she can't really throw it to first base very well, but just in time to get the hustling Sean Green, and a very quick, efficient, and entertaining top of the first. So we head to the bottom of the first. Indians with a 1-0 lead. Angels coming up to bat for the first time. On the mound is Esther French, a familiar face, and also swinging at the first pitch is Marky DuBois, and it's right to the first baseman, Mark McGuire, and he's able to grab that no problem. So here comes Alex Rodriguez, the shortstop for the Angels. As I was saying, Esther French, a familiar face for Domsky and his team, was Domsky's main pitcher last season, faced over 300 batters, had a very respectable 2.35 ERA, as this is a ground ball right to Ken Griffey Jr. And so 2 quick outs here on defense for the Indians. A much quieter half inning on defense for the Indians than it was for the Angels, as unboosted Amir Khan, one of the 2 holdovers on this team, him and Marky DuBois, comes up to the plate. Last season, Amir Khan, even though he was boosted with his brother Ahmed, had a little bit of a down year, only had 9 hits for the entire season. He did have 3 home runs, and that's not going to be a home run, but that's going to knock Sean Green over. Coming off of the bases, Mark McGuire heading over to cover is the pitcher Esther French, but not in time. It's an infield single, a backyard baseball single for Amir Khan, and the usually sure-handed Sean Green allows a 2-out base runner, and that's always trouble when you've got Chico Papas up at the plate right after. So a 2-out runner here. Esther French pitching Chico very carefully. And he's going to get a hold of this one, and it's not going to stay fair. It is going to be just foul. That was dangerous into that black hole of left field that can sometimes go as a home run, even though it's not technically over the fence here at Ekman, as the defense shifts over and back. As there's a fastball high and inside, backing Chico Papas off the plate. So it's a 2-1 pitch now from Esther to Chico. He's going to take that one. A little bit too low and inside. Chico doing a good job of staying patient. Knows he's not really getting anything to hit, and he will accept his walk. And so from 2 outs, nobody on, to 2 outs, 2 on. Amir Khan at second, Chico Papas at first, and that brings up Pete Wheeler. And so with that walk earned by Chico Papas, that leads us into, for the first time, the house rule in the Library Online League, where if you walk a player, they get 2 bases, which means Amir Khan is going to get to go to third, and Chico Papas will get to second base. Here is the intentional walk pitch. There go the runners. Ivan Rodriguez holds onto the ball. And so a walk's as good as a double. So first base open, 2 outs. The force plays are gone, as a swing and a foul ball from Pete Wheeler. From 2 outs, nobody on, to 2 outs, 2 on. The Angels now have something out of nothing. They're looking to tie or go ahead here, as that's a little bit too inside. The 2-1 pitch from Esther French, swung on and missed. Pete Wheeler using all of his very few brain cells to try and make contact with the ball, as that's a good take on a fastball on the bottom inside edge. So 3-2, 2 outs. Here's the payoff pitch. Swung on, and it's a line drive to center field. Can Sean Green make this play? No, he cannot. It dives. He dives, and it gets by him into center field. The defense was shifted over. Jason Kenner's got to run all the way over. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. Pete Wheeler stops at third with a stand-up, 2 out, 2 RBI triple. My goodness. And here comes Kimmy Ekman in her own backyard, looking to keep this 2-out rally going. She takes strike 1 on the bottom inside edge. My goodness, this inning looked like it was going to be over so quickly, and now all of a sudden in trouble are the Indians, as here's a pop-up, and Sean Green and King Griffey Jr., who's going to call it? I don't know. Communicate, gentlemen, and it drops. Oh my goodness, Sean Green is responsible for all 3 runs this inning. And I haven't even gotten to my notes talking about how typically good this Domsky defense is, but I don't even think I can really say that anymore, as Sean Green is absolutely blowing it this inning. So here comes Thor Herring, and this is a pretty good chance to get out of this inning. Finally, as a swing and a miss on a good hook from Esther French. That's one of her good pitches. So she's now ahead, finally. She's been falling behind these batters here, but ahead on Thor Herring. 0-2, throws a fastball at the bottom of the zone, swing and a miss. And a strikeout finally gets them out of the inning. And so now that we finally have a moment to catch our breath, as I was saying, Chico and Pete, not the planned top 2 players on this team. It was a blind auction draft. They accidentally won both players and had to fill out the rest of their lineup. So this team is very top-heavy. You can kind of notice that as you just saw Thor Herring at the plate, and you're seeing Kendra Yarborough on the mound, and you may not know who that is in center field, but that is Giuseppe. These are probably names you've never heard of in backyard baseball because they're not usually on teams, but they were forced to round out the last 4 players on their roster with some minimum payment, minimum contract players. So some kids who don't normally get playing time are getting just that. And their coach is asking a lot of them, as Mark McGuire is sitting on a 2-0 count, and the first pitch he sees that's actually hittable, he rocks it to right field. You can forget about it. Mark McGuire, another solo shot for the Indians. They are cutting into this lead right away, not wasting any time on the comeback trail. It is now 3-2. Angels still lead. So 2 solo shots for this Indians defense. Mark McGwire, certainly not surprising. Tanya Yoshida, a little surprising. And usually it's the Angels doing the home run hitting. They led the league in home runs hit last season. 37 home runs as a team in 14 games. But they've given up 2 here themselves. And here's another home run hitter in Uma Morris. 1 out and the base is empty, but that is spiked. And diving is Kendra. She gets up and throws Uma out in plenty of time. So now with 2 outs and the base is empty, here's the number 9 hitter, the pitcher, Esther French, who, as I mentioned, one of the 2 holdovers for Domsky and his team. Very respectable pitching season last season. 73 strikeouts, 0 walks. As I mentioned, in 300 batters faced. Throwing strikes early and often. As here's our first pitching change of the day, and it's Marky DuBois coming in. And right to Kendra, who just came off the mound. She's not able to get there in time. And Chico Papas really struggling to throw the ball in, as this one's going to get by Marky DuBois. And so another 2-out base runner in this game already. We've already had 3 2-out runs. Will we get another one here, this time for the Indians? Here is Tanya Yoshida back up already for the second time. Leadoff solo home run on the first pitch of the game. And she gets a hold of this one. It's not going to be deep enough to get out, but will it get deep enough to drop? Well, it's going to get dropped by Chico Papas. So another defensive miscue. And both these teams usually very solid defensively, lean defensive. But we've seen a couple of drops here early. But that is backyard baseball. So from 2 outs, bases empty, to 2 outs, 2 on, here's Jason Kendall, who grounded out his first time up the plate and swings and misses at a good hook at the bottom of the zone. Good pitch from Markey. He shakes his head. He likes his pitch. And it's just a little bit too low. A good pitch, but a good take from Jason Kendall, the center fielder. So it's a 1-1 pitch from Markey. And another good take, just barely missing, a few pixels away from a strike. So Jason Kendall back in this count now, and there's a strike on the inside edge, a fastball. Good pitch, so a 2-2 looking to get out of the inning is Markey, and a swing and a miss, he does! Strikeout on Jason Kendall, strands the runners, so a couple of 2-out hits are wasted, and the Indians settle for the Mark McGwire solo home run, and we head to the home half of the second, 3-2 now, Angels. Already a lot of scoring here at a field that is usually very defensive, Mr. Ekman Acres. A big outfield, a speed nerf, as this one is spiked in front of the home plate, and picking it up is Ivan Rodriguez, and in plenty of time retires Giuseppe. And so here comes the number 9 batter, the pitcher slash now third baseman, Kendra Yarbrough. And she swings and misses. So as I've already mentioned, a very top-heavy team in Chico, Pete Wheeler, and Alex Rodriguez, but then after that, Giuseppe, Kendra, and Thor Herring as your bottom 3 batters. If I was a betting man, I would say they'd probably combine for single-digit hits the entire season. And that's not a knock on this coach. These players are just doing their best. As, speaking of, there's a swing and a miss for Kendra Yarbrough, a strikeout for Esther French. And so we return to the top of the lineup, Marky DuBois. One of those 2 holdovers from last season, a .333 average for his coach. Had 2 home runs as well and 2 doubles, and only 4 strikeouts in 39 at-bats. So a solid season last year, certainly looking to replicate that here. As the 1-1 pitch is swung on and missed, a good fastball at the bottom inside corner. So Esther French looking for her 3rd strikeout, holding on to that juice box, and this is skied to right field. Tanya Yoshida is under it and makes the catch. So a much easier inning on defense for the Indians. They hold the Angels scoreless and hitless, and we head to the top of the 3rd. Still remains 3-2 Angels. Leading off this inning is Chipper Jones. Already 1 for 1 with a double to left field that Chico Papas was not able to get in time, as that is a little swinging bunt. This is trouble with how slow Thor Herring is. He gets up and throws it in time. He is slow moving, but has a very strong arm and able to beat out the hustling Chipper Jones. So here comes Ken Griffey Jr. with the bases empty, 0 for 1 today. Here comes the pitch from Marky DeBoy, a fastball, a little bit too low. Good take, not biting on the heater. The 1-0 is a strike, also on that bottom inside edge. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Marky sets and fires in another fastball in that same spot, but again, just a little bit too low. So 2 fastballs a little bit too low. Here comes another hook, and this is drilled to right field. This is going to get down for a base hit, maybe more. It gets by Kimmy Ekman. It's off of the fireplace, and it's thrown in, and oh, Ken Griffey's in trouble now. Now he's caught in a pickle. It was a good throw from Kimmy Ekman, and he's able to beat out the throw from Pete Wheeler, as the Angels were not able to execute the pickle and keep Ken Griffey Jr. at first. So it's a backyard baseball double, and that brings up Sean Green. 1 out, runner on second, takes the first pitch a little bit low and inside. Marky consistently aiming for that spot, as here's a high hook, and this is popped up to Alex Rodriguez, who's running around, makes the catch, making his coach hold his breath there, but able to record the out. So 1 out away from stranding the runner at second, as Ivan Rodriguez, the catcher, comes up to the plate, and first pitch swinging, he spikes this one in front. Picking it up is Thor Herring, and in plenty of time able to get the fellow catcher, Ivan Rodriguez, and so we head into the bottom of the third. It still remains 3-2 Angels. Leading it off now is Alex Rodriguez, as he swings and misses at the first pitch. Still holding on to that juice box. Not using it yet is Esther French, as there's a ball on the inside edge. Certainly got to be careful with Amir, Chico Papas, and Pete Wheeler due up behind the leadoff hitter Alex Rodriguez. This top-heavy middle of the lineup, as that is another ball just a little bit too low, so a 2-2 count here. Here comes a fastball on the outside edge, swing and a miss. Third strikeout of the day for Esther French. A perfectly placed fastball. And down goes Alex Rodriguez. So you get the leadoff batter, and here comes Amir Khan. 1 for 1 with a backyard baseball single on the fumble from Sean Green, and he swings and fouls this one back. Chico Papas on deck. We certainly love to have him come up with the bases empty. Don't want to give him any more RBI opportunities that he can get. And this is another foul ball. So Amir Khan in a hole here, 0-2. Had to fight that one off. Here comes another 0-2, and a swing and a fly ball, but right at Tanya Yoshida, who doesn't really have to move. Dives a little bit for the flair, the dramatic, but able to record the out. And so here comes Chico Papas. 2 outs, bases empty. Well, they pitched to Chico. They did intentionally walk Chico last at bat. Certainly pitched him carefully, and looking to do that here, as the first 2 pitches are balls. So here comes the 2-0, and a strike on the inside edge. So still pitching carefully, but trying to catch those corners, as a swing and a miss on a high hook on the inside corner. And now from 2-0 to 2-2, this would be a big strikeout on Chico Papas, not biting on a fastball well below the zone. Good block by the catcher, if this was real baseball. Here comes the payoff pitch, 3-2, and a strike 3 looking fastball on the bottom inside edge. Esther French, you can see why she had such a good season last year for the Indians. Already 4 strikeouts on the day, and we head into the top of the 4th. Halfway through this one, The scoring has calmed down. It's still 3-2. Angels holding on to this one-run lead. And here comes Mark McGwire, already one solo home run today. He comes up to the plate with the bases empty again. As he fouls the first pitch away and then takes the second pitch well below the zone. And then he's going to take that pitch also below the zone. A couple of easy takes here from Mark McGwire. So now he's in a hitter's count. 2-1. Markey sets and fires a high hook. And again, this is drilled deep back to left center. And does it have enough to get over? Yes, it does. Into the neighbor's yard. Another solo shot for Mark McGwire. And we got a tie ball game in the top of the fourth inning. 3-3. 307 feet. It ends up in the neighbor's garden. And Mark McGwire strikes again. They were pitching him carefully, but it doesn't matter how carefully you pitch Mark McGwire. Those steroids are going to do their job eventually. Excuse me, I mean the 110% juice. So tie ball game now as we get a timeout and maybe a pitching change. Maybe we'll see Kendra come in again. And no, we're going to see Amir Khan step onto the mound for the first time today. And swinging at the first pitch is Uma Morris, but fouls it back. Great slow ball pitcher is Amir Khan, as here is his patented slow ball and just catches the bottom of the zone. You can see why it's so good, so deceptive. So 0-2 now. Here comes a fastball, and it's spiked into the ground. Amir runs, picks it up, turns and fires to Pete Wheeler in plenty of time. And there is the first out of the inning. That brings up the number 9 hitter, Esther French, who did have a single already today. Got stranded at second base her last time up at the plate. And takes strike 1 on the bottom inside corner. And same pitch, but just a little bit too inside this time. Evens the count, 1-1 from Amir. As this one is popped up. Running back is Alex Rodriguez, and diving, looking the other way, makes the catch. A flair for the dramatic is Alex Rodriguez, but he makes the play, and that brings us to 2 outs. And Tanya Yoshida, already 2 for 2 today, but might not be 3 for 3 as that is lined right at the best defender on the field. The play is made, but the Indians tie the game on a Mark McGwire solo home run, so we head into the home half of the fourth, all tied up at 3, but the Angels have been kept quiet, no hits since the first inning. But this is the perfect leadoff batter to get you back on track in Pete Wheeler, the fastest kid in the game, already with a triple today to deep center field. As Esther French throws in, it was a bunt attempt from Pete Wheeler, but that pitch was too outside, so he did offer, this time taking that fastball well below the zone. So could be ahead in the count 2-0, but falling behind 1-1, and this is drilled to center field, and it gets down and by Jason Kendall again, all the way to the ivy in right field, and this could be trouble here. On his way to third is Pete Wheeler, and Jason Kendall spikes the throw. That's going to allow Pete Wheeler to come in for an inside the park home run. Oh, Jason Kendall missed the dive, spiked the throw, and Pete Wheeler was not going to make any mistakes there. So just like that, as I said he was your leadoff hitter to get you back on track. I didn't think he was going to get an inside the park home run. But sure enough, Pete Wheeler immediately putting his team back out in front. It's now 4-3 Angels as Kimmy Ekman hits a little swinging bunt right back to the pitcher. And they're able to retire Mr. Ekman's daughter in her own backyard. So here comes that bottom 3 in Thor, Giuseppe, and Kendra. Thor probably the best batter of the 3. He does have 60-ish power, so enough to get it into the outfield, but he is a 3-speed and a 2-speed here on Ekman Acres. As you can see, he barely even got halfway. So that brings up Giuseppe, and I don't even know how to say his last name because I've genuinely never seen Giuseppe play on a team. So congratulations to Giuseppe for making it onto the roster. Surely a momentous occasion for this young man as he takes a fastball just barely missing. Oh my goodness. Good pitch there from Esther. Not a bad miss, as this one is lined but right at Uma Morris, who comes in a couple of steps, leans over, makes the catch, and we are done in the 4th inning. But a Pete Wheeler inside the park home run on another miscue in center field puts the Angels back out in front. We are into the late innings now, top of the 5th. Indians once again down 1, and they need to stage another comeback here against these Angels, who are using more of a pitching rotation than they did previously. Last season, Sally Dobbs pitched almost the entire season for them. Really, only a few handful of batters were not pitched to Sally Dobbs, or with Sally Dobbs, as Pete Wheeler is not able to handle that little soft line drive. And that is the downside of Pete Wheeler. Not the smartest, not the best eye. So it'll go down as a single in what could have been a very easy out. So your leadoff runner is aboard. Tying runner is at third. Go-ahead runner at the plate in Chipper Jones. As this is a line drive, and is it going to get down? Ranging over is Kimmy Ekman. And no, it's not. It's going to get Byerman all the way to the ivy. Heading to second is Jason Kendall. He had to wait to see if that was going to get caught. Waiting at first, now going to second is Chipper Jones. He turns around. Jason Kendall is at third. Now he's trying to go home. The throw is to Pete Wheeler. Now to Amir Khan. Now it goes home and out at the plate. They took the longest possible route to get there, but it still worked out. Out at the plate is Jason Kendall. Gunned down the tying run. Not able to score. Chipper Jones does move into second base after all that, and here comes Ken Griffey Jr., so you still have a good chance here to go ahead with your big bat in Ken Griffey Jr., but right as I say that, Castor's curse, he lines right at Marky DuBois for the second out. So a tough day at the plate for Ken Griffey Jr., one of your two 100 power bats. So 2 outs, runner at second. It's up to Sean Green to keep this inning alive. This string of good line drive hitters. Good line drives and good arms. Not a single player on this Indians team, well, excuse me, only one player on this Indians team has an arm strength below 60, and even then it's your pitcher, Esther French, with an arm strength of 48. So a solid line drive, defensive leaning team here, but they're going to need to break out the offense here. They're down a run in the top of the 5th with only 4 outs left to play. The 3-1 is swung on and missed. Oh, that caught a lot of the plate, but wrong stance from Sean Green. So 3-2 payoff pitch from Amir Khan. Here it comes. And taken inside, ball 4. Good take from Sean Green. Not a bad pitch from Amir Khan, but drawing the walk is Sean Green, and that brings up Ivan Rodriguez. The runners are going to get to advance to third base and second base due to that walk. So runners will be at second and third. Removes the force play. And this is a big at-bat with Mark McGwire on deck, holding on to your 1-run lead. Who is going to come out on top in this battle, Ivan or Amir, as we get a timeout? And maybe it won't even be Amir battling against Ivan. And it will not. Marky DuBois comes back in. And so on the 1-0 count, it's a curveball that nearly hits Ivan Rodriguez right in the face. If there was a hit by pitch, surely that would have. So a favorable 2-0 count here to Ivan Rodriguez. Certainly don't want to walk another batter. That would walk in 2 runs. Or 1 run, excuse me, because Sean Green would move to third. As there's a strike on the outside edge, so evens the count, working back to a 2-2. Here's the pitch. Swung on in line to right field. Is it going to stay fair? No. Oh my goodness, that was a home run. Long gone, but long foul. So we'll do another 2-2 pitch here from Markey to Ivan. Markey shakes off his catcher. Now sets and fires, and just a little bit too low. So full count, 3-2, 2 outs. Cannot afford a walk here. Thinking about the pitch, here it comes, swing and a miss, Markey DuBois. Oh my goodness, a big strikeout there on Ivan Rodriguez. Strands the runners at second and third, and the Indians at best will be down 1 when they come back up to bat in the final frame. But they've got to play defense first. It'll be Kendra, and then back to the top of the lineup in Markey and A-Rod. As the first pitch to Kendra is a strike on the inside edge. Esther French so far has pitched the whole game. Has given up 4 runs, but has done enough to keep her team in this game. And impressively still has not used this juice box the entire time, as there is a looking strikeout on Kendra Yarborough. But there is your first out of the inning. Very important you don't let them score here. It's always important you don't let the other team score, but especially when you're down 1 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Coming up to bat in the top of the 6th, that is a swing and a foul ball. Straight back from Markey DuBois. Here's the 0-1 from Esther. Swing and a ground ball. Picked up by Esther. Looked like Tanya Yoshida was going to get there, but the pitcher fielding her position well. And so just like that, 2 outs, bases empty for Alex Rodriguez. Has had a very solid defensive game, but 0 for 2 so far today with a strikeout. He swings at the first pitch and fouls it away. So here comes the 0-1. And another swing, and this is into left field and down for a hit. Chipper Jones throws it in, but well late. Alex Rodriguez, first hit of the day, first hit of the season. And that brings up Amir Khan. Now this is a big at-bat. We just talked about how big of an at-bat Ivans was with Mark McGuire on deck. Here is a big at-bat with Chico Papas on deck, as that is a strike on the bottom inside edge. Boy, twice now in this inning, Esther French has caught that bottom inside corner just barely, as that one is just a little bit too low, just barely. Evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. A fastball on the outside edge is a ground ball. Defense was shifted over, and they're still going to be able to get Alex Rodriguez at second base to retire the side. So we head into the top of the 6th. Indians need at least 1 to tie it, or the Angels are going to hold on for a 1-run win in the opening game. And you're starting off with the second biggest threats behind Ken Griffey Jr. in this lineup. So a big leadoff batter here. If you're able to get Mark McGuire, or at least hold him inside of the ballpark, which you haven't been able to do so far today. But this is a good start, already ahead 0-2. Got some pitches to play with, and a good take on a fastball inside. Not biting there on 0-2. The 1-2. Just a little bit too low. Another good pitch. Not bad misses here from Markey. Just good takes from Mark McGuire. The 2-2 is a little bit too low. A little bit easier of a take there in this battle of the marks. So a 3-2 payoff pitch. You don't want to walk him in. They do not. A swing and a miss on a fastball on the bottom inside edge. And a huge first out for the Angels. So that brings up Uma Morris, who's still a respectable power threat in her own right, albeit no Mark McGuire or Ken Griffey Jr. As she swings and skies this one to right field, it's carrying, it's going back. Kimmy Ekman at the wall, and it's out of here. No, it's not. It's bouncing back into the field of play. Oh my goodness, how unlucky for the Indians. I thought it was gone. It bounces on top of the ivy and back into the field of play. Oh my goodness, it's still a double, so your tying run is still at second base, but that probably should have been a tie ball game, especially when you consider Tanya Yoshida hit a home run that went through the middle of the ivy, and this one hits off the top. So it's up to Esther French with 1 out and a runner on second. A good line drive. Is that going to get by Kendra? It is, and into left field. Uma Morris has to stay at third base. Some shenanigans going on here from the Angels defense, but that gets you back to the top of your lineup in Tanya Yoshida. So you've got a couple of good line drive hitters here due up. Tanya, Jason, and then Chipper. As here it is, a line drive into center field. That's going to get by Giuseppe. Oh, poor Giuseppe and Kim Ekman are running after it. It's all the way to the Ivy. Here comes the tying run in to score. Esther French is hustling to third. Will she round and come home? She trips, and she's going to attempt it, and it's going to get by everyone. Marky DuBois picks it up. No, he doesn't pick it up. He runs right by it, and that's going to allow Esther French to score a two-run double for Tanya Yoshida, her third RBI of the day, and it puts her team in front 5-4 as Jason Kendall swings and misses at the first pitch. Oh my goodness, it looked like they were going to get Esther French dead to rights, but Marky DuBois did not want to pick up that baseball. My goodness, so it's going to be on the Angels here in the bottom of the sixth to tie it or walk it off, as that is dropped by Pete Wheeler, knocks it down, and he's still able to pick it up and step on first in time. So now you've got 2 outs. Runner at second, Chipper Jones, 2 for 3 today. Ken Griffey Jr. on deck. Don't want to extend this inning here if you're the Angels. Here comes the pitch from Marky DuBois. It is a ball well on the inside bottom edge. Tanya Yoshida at second base. The 1-0 is a strike on the bottom inside edge, a fastball. The 1-1 now. Swung on and skied to right field. This one's going to stay in the park. Under it is Kimmy Ekman, and it drops in front of Kimmy Ekman. Oh my goodness, somehow she didn't catch that. They're trying to relay home to get Tanya Yoshida, and they don't. An insurance run for the Indians. It's now 6-4, and Ken Griffey Jr. is up at the plate. A relatively quiet day for Ken Griffey Jr. so far, 1 for 3 with a backyard baseball double, but what a time he could possibly ice this game here, as that is a line drive to center field ranging over Giuseppe. He knocks it down but doesn't make the catch. He throws it in. Here comes Chipper Jones. I don't think they're going to be able to get it home in time. They are not. And the Indians, another run. And the Indians, after coming into the inning down a run, needing to score 1 to keep this game going, they have scored 4 to go ahead by 3. And now they're in the driver's seat, as that is a ball on the bottom inside edge to Sean Green, looking for his first hit of the season. Did draw a walk earlier today, which is as good as a double. As Markey is pulled, and here comes back in Amir Khan. And he throws a fastball that's fouled off to the left side, into the neighbor's yard. Angels desperately need to get out of this inning. You're already asking a lot to score 3 in the bottom half, as this is a high fly ball. Under it is Chico Papas and makes the catch. But 4 runs score for the Indians. They take the lead, and we head to the bottom of the 6th. Do or die here for the Angels. They need 3. And they've got their leadoff batter, Chico Papas, up at the plate. As this is first pitch swinging right to Mark McGuire. And that is the last thing you wanted, because after Pete, it's boosted Kimmy Ekman, but then you've got your bottom 3 of Thor, Giuseppe, and Kenry. So ideally, you needed Chico, Pete, and Kimmy to get on and come in to score somehow. As that is a ball to Pete Wheeler, a little bit low. And then another ball a little bit high this time on the fastball from Esther French. At 71 pitches, 5 strikeouts, looking for the complete game win in week 1. Her offense has, in fact, backed her up now. Better late than never, as another drop by Sean Green. And Pete Wheeler's trying to take advantage of that. He is going for second, and he is out. Oh, aggressive base running there, and Ivan Rodriguez picks it up and guns down Pete Wheeler. And the Angels down to their final out. It's all up to the namesake, Kimmy Ekman, and she drills this one to right center. Is this going to keep this thing going? Jason Kendall is back, and he is not going to be able to get it. It is over the ivy. A solo shot for Kimmy Ekman in her own backyard. The Angels aren't done yet. It's 7-5. 373 feet is the final measurement. But now, down to your final out still, it's up to Thor Herring to keep this thing going. 0 for 2 with a strikeout today. Here comes the first pitch, and it's a fastball swung on and missed by Thor Herring. The 0-1. Good take as that curled away outside. The 1-1. Taken on the outside edge. Strike at the top of the zone. And on 1 and 2, here comes the fireball that could end the game. Not able to even get a swing off is Thor Herring. That is strike 3. The game is over, and the Cleveland Indians are gonna steal this one. 4 runs in the top of the 6th inning. They win. Your final score, 7-5. Domsky is your winner in the first showcase match of the week.